Have you ever wondered why certain colours or interior design styles resonate with you more than others? Well, in this video, you're about to find out why. You might be surprised to learn that it could be connected with your seasonal personality type. And if you're wondering what that is, then stick around a while to find out what your own season might be and how you can use that to create a home that supports your well-being. Seasonal personality types are an aspect of colour psychology that I personally find fascinating. And simply put, it's a system that categorises our personalities based on the qualities associated with the 4 seasons. Each type has its own set of characteristics that influence your preferences in almost every area of your life. And that includes how you decorate your home. In a similar way to how nature feels and behaves differently in the different seasons, we humans also have different tendencies depending on our own personality types. Spring types are vibrant and full of energy, summer types are relaxed and calm, autumn types are warm and grounded, and winter types are precise and sophisticated. And understanding your seasonal personality type can help you choose colours, textures, furniture styles that make you feel most at home. And if you share your home with a partner, understanding theirs as well as your own can help you when it comes to blending interior design styles to create a home that works for both of you. So let's dive into each one a little bit. The spring personality type is very lively, bubbly, enthusiastic, full of energy, optimism and creativity. They love new beginnings and fresh starts. They're very welcoming, friendly, fun. They're also very trendy, and this is an important thing to be aware of, particularly in terms of how you decorate your home. The spring personality type is most likely to be influenced by what's trending. They're young at heart and they're also born communicators. They can also be susceptible to SAD, so seasonal adjustment disorder. So again, that's something to be aware of if you're a spring personality type. When you're coming into the autumn and winter months, the darker half of the year, to factor that into your decor so that you are setting your home up to support you as well as possible. In terms of career choices, they often go into nursing, teaching, sales, anything in the communications field, entertainment, event management, and they also kind of a tendency to stay in the same job for years. When it comes to their buying behavior, as I mentioned already, they're going to follow trends which are constantly changing, so they're always changing up their wardrobe and changing up the accessories in their home. And because of that, they tend to buy on the cheaper side. They can't really invest in quality pieces because they are changing things so frequently. And that brings us on to their tastes in home decor, and even the kind of architecture that they're drawn to will be light and airy, lots of big windows allowing in natural light. And to facilitate that internally as well, they can be drawn to open plan spaces and decorate with a lot of white combined with a lot of bright, clear colours, but very much on the pastel end of things rather than deep hues. So things like baby blue, pink, lemon yellow, lime green, peach. Those would be the kinds of colours that they would be drawn to. In terms of finishes, they're drawn to gold, to light wood, to wicker and glossy surfaces that will bounce and reflect the light. When it comes to patterns, they're drawn to small, dainty prints and florals. And they also really like circular shapes. So you're more likely to find circular dining tables in the home of a spring person. What they dislike is dark walls and floors, heavy woods, and what they might consider to be oppressive furniture. They're also not into new stuff, and you're more likely to find lighter weight, flat pack furniture in a spring home than any of the other personality types. Basically, spring personalities thrive in bright, open, airy spaces that are full of life. So if you think that's you, then embrace those cheerful vibes and aim to create a relaxed, youthful, fun energy in your home. So moving on now to the summer personality type, they tend to be very graceful, calm, softly spoken, with a certain elegance. They're understated and maybe a little reserved. They thrive on structure, they plan everything in advance, and their homes are very efficient and well organized. They're detail oriented, responsible, but they are also highly perceptive, intuitive, considerate of others, really good listeners, and can be very artistic. In terms of career choices, you find lots of summer people working as doctors, as diplomats, maybe working in human resources, and also they can be gifted artists or musicians. Then their buying quality, as you might imagine, would be very much focused on quality. So they buy to last, they do the research, they look to see testimonials, portfolios. They want to be sure that what they're buying is going to last. So they don't shop impulsively or very frequently. They take the time and they spend more, and when they find a source that they trust, then they will become reliable repeat customers. In terms of architecture and home decor preferences, they'd be really drawn to period homes and a very timeless and classic decor with higher end finishes with a more muted colour palette. Though they still like their colour, it would be a bit more muted. So you might find rose pink and taupes, plums, grapefruits, grey blue, and a lot of grey undertones in their colour palettes. Their textiles would be elegant, flowy, high quality. So think silk, cashmere, natural fibres. And then in terms of furniture, they're very drawn to antiques. They like rosewood, satin finishes, oval shapes, so you're more likely to find an oval dining room in a summer home. And they're also drawn to an overall more coordinated look. So everything will be very deliberately put together, and they're more likely to have sets of furniture, so to have a living room set or a bedroom set or dining room set. Now what they dislike is dark walls and flimsy furniture, cheap woods, plastics, garish patterns, and anything that just feels generally too heavy. So generally the summer personality needs a calm and soothing atmosphere. And while they do want it to feel relaxed and inviting, it is also important to them that it has a sort of an understated elegance as well. So if that's you want to keep your space relaxed with cozy quality textiles and light linens, and opt for an understated colour palette that promotes a sense of tranquility and elegance. So next up we have the autumn personality type, and these people are very warm, grounded, friendly, and down to earth. They have a strong affinity to nature, they have a strong work ethic, and authenticity is very important to them. They also tend to be lifelong learners, they tend to be rebellious, impassioned about their causes, they have an open mind and they question everything. They can also be very flamboyant and theatrical and uplifting and great fun. But you might typically find them working as psychologists or psychiatrists, but also police investigators or private detectives, archaeologists or investigative journalism. But also you can find them working in the design world as spatial planners or as architects or interior designers. When it comes to their buying behaviour, like the summer personality, they will do their research and they will ask lots of questions. They're also open to purchasing secondhand, but summer would very much lean towards antiques, whereas autumn would just be happy with vintage and just general secondhand. They don't need to be antiques for them to see the value in them. So they're the personality type most likely maybe to recycle and upcycle. In terms of architecture and home decor, again, they'd be drawn to older buildings, and industrial vibe could also appeal to them. They love to mix the old with the new, and they also love lots of texture. They'll have loads of layers and they'll layer their lighting, all about creating a cozy vibe. And they're most likely to have an eclectic taste and to be maximalist. In terms of shapes, they're drawn to squares and rectangles. So spring is circles, summer is ovals. But in an autumn home, you're more likely to see strong, solid, square, rectangular tables. In terms of colour, they'll go for intense hues. They go for the autumnal shades, so they're going to be warm, rich, earthy, no grey really. Their neutrals would veer more towards brown. What they dislike is similar to summer personality type. They dislike flimsy or plastic furniture. They don't like style over substance. So the substance and the comfort is the most important thing for them. And they're not that keen on following trends. I suppose the most important thing to be aware of is that they're all about warmth and comfort. So if that's you love earthy tones like deep oranges, rich browns, warm yellows. And what you need is for your home to feel cozy, organic, and expressive. So that leaves us with winter. And winter personality type is very discerning. They're very strong. They're very confident. And they can have a star presence about them. They tend to be leaders rather than followers. And they want the best of the best. They're single-minded and decisive, precise, and they can also be very glamorous and extravagant. So their career choices can be things like surgeons, barristers, finance, government. They are leaders, and whatever field they work in, they're at the highest end of that field. Their buying behavior is driven by a desire to have the very best that they can afford. So they will, like summer, they will very much buy quality, but they will be looking for something very sophisticated, and they want it to look expensive, not so that they're happy to spend lots of money on something that is expensive. It has to look the money that it costs. So their homes will be the most uncluttered and minimal. So they definitely want a sense of space similar to spring, but they will decorate it sparsely with the aim of creating a dramatic feeling. They like clean lines, sharp angles. They're most likely to live in custom designed, architect designed home that will have lots of shiny, lacquered, high-end furniture. As I said, fewer pieces, but high quality statement pieces. Their color palette will have striking colors, maybe some high intensity or pure black and white. There'll be a lot of high contrasting, piercing, dark shades as well. They like stark geometric patterns, and their fabrics will be very much on the luxury end as well. So, they'll have leather and silk, zero polyester in the winter home. What they dislike is lots of texture. So very, very much the opposite of an autumn personality type. And they don't like stuff everywhere. They don't like florals. And anything that they might consider tacky would be a no-no. Basically, if you're a winter, you appreciate sleek, sophisticated spaces with a touch of drama, and you need a clean, crisp look. So go for minimal clutter and high contrast colors. A home that will make you feel at your best should feel modern, considered, and sophisticated. Now, if you have found yourself relating to more than one personality type, that is perfectly normal. In every personality categorizing system there is, whether it's 3 types or 7 types, it would be unusual for you to only identify with one. Most people will have one dominant type and then resonate with different aspects of a couple of others. With the seasonal personality types, for example, I'm very much an autumn person, but I also have a lot of spring in me. And if you were to watch this back, you might notice that they have very opposite kind of tendencies. There you go. Common to resonate with both a primary and a secondary type. But it's also very helpful when it comes to blending interior design styles with those that you share your home with. And what you want to do is you want to look for the intersection between your primary and your secondary, and maybe even if there's a tertiary one in there, look for where the intersections are if you don't share the same primary personality type. And that's where you can find compromises and curate a design style that works for both of you. When we decorate with our seasonal personality types in mind, it really does help us to create spaces that not only reflects our own unique style, but also supports our well-being. And hopefully now you'll have a really good idea of what your personality type is. But if you'd like a little more clarity, I do have a quiz. It's a free quiz on my website, and I'll link that below. You might also like to check out this video on how to choose the right colours for different parts of your home, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this, or indeed if you have any suggestions for future videos. And if you did find this video helpful, I'd love it if you would give it a like, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.